everybody, and welcome to another video. Today we are going to be making two one-page layouts using Cocoa Vanilla Studios Merry and Bright line. This is a beautiful line, and I'm sure I do not have the whole line because there's many pieces to it, but I do have some two-sided paper and some ephemera, some die cuts here. So I am going to show you the different pages in this line that I do have here. The first one, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's got these cut aparts, which I absolutely love. And then the other side is all writing, and it says, "Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh." So it's like the words to Jingle Bells. And this one is called "Oh, what fun." The second sheet is called Happy Holidays, and it's all dots, kind of like confetti looking. And the other side is this beautiful looking wreath border. The other side of this one here, this is like a wood green, which is called Season's Greetings. And then this one is beautiful, and it's "'Tis the season, merry and bright, happy Christmas." A whole bunch of different sentiments. This one is beautiful. Look at all those trees and all the different colors. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the other side of that one is "Oh, Christmas Tree," and it's a bunch of, looks like hand-printed snowflakes. Next one, Love, 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 is a bunch of stars and a few dots. Maybe that's supposed to be snow falling. And on the other side is Gingham, and this one is called Star Bright. This one is beautiful. It's a bunch of foliage and poinsettias and flowers. The other side is pink background with kind of a light whitish color dots, and that one's called Joy to the World. And the last one I have is called Countdown, and it's a bunch of hand-drawn trees with snowflakes. And the other side would be perfect for making an advent calendar. It's 1 to 25. So there's that one. What I've decided to do is I am going to grab out, I've got this sheet of watercolor paper, and the watercolor paper I usually use is a 140-pound weight, and it's fluid. It's the hot press finish 12 by 12 paper, and you get 15 sheets in a pack. I buy it from my local art store, which is called Delta, and it seems to work for me. There's many others on the market you could use though, so I like that one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a smushing technique. And I was going to do a video just on the smushing technique, but I haven't yet done one. So we will maybe do one down the road. But anyways, I'm just going to get my paper lined up properly. There we go. Sorry for the shadows. Hopefully the shadows will go away now. Now I'm going to sit. And what we are going to do with this is we are going to use this clear film, and I have 3 different shades of ink we are going to use. Just like this. We are going to use Ice Spruce from Tim Holtz, Bundled Sage, and Festive Berries. So I am going to start with my iced spruce. And what we're doing, basically, I'm going to do this on the back side of here so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to just smush down our ink. You don't need much. And next, I'm going to take my water and give it a little go like that. Okay, so I'm just going to go like this, get it all over the place. And now I'm going to try my smushing. Or some people call it kissing technique. It's totally up to you. But the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to have it the bottom part of my page because I'm going to be putting the pattern paper on the top part. So we're going to just rock it back and forth. I'm going to add a little bit more water. Just got to be careful where you put that so you don't get your page all wet. It is watercolor paper, but I want my whole page saturated. Okay, so there's that color. So now I'm going to just wipe off that color, or you could even put it on another sheet of paper so you don't waste your product. But this time I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to wipe that off. And now we will do our next color. Next color I'm going to do is the bundled sage. And same way you did it before. Put your ink down. You give it that little mist of water. I'm going to just put them together a little bit. See, you get that color goodness, all that pigment. And now we're going to just rock it. There we go. So there's the bundled sage. Same thing, you can put that on another sheet of paper so you don't waste it, but I'm not going to this time. And our last color is the festive berries. Give it that little bit of kind of a pop of pink. So we're gonna mist that. And I'm gonna rub it together a little bit. This one I have a little bit more than I wanted. So there we go. And now we're gonna mist it, or put it on here and smush it. And I don't want a ton of pink, so I'm going to just stop there. All right, so right here is where I'm going to dry it with your heat gun, or I'm going to use my embossing gun. So I'm going to do that and then we'll be right back. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now that that has dried, I always, when I'm using embellishments, use a little container where I dump all of my embellishments into. It's a lot easier to find. And then you just put it back into your package once you're done. So we're going to put all of those in there once we start going through them. There's a few different embellishments in here, and there's some pretty cute ones. I really love Coco Vanilla's designs. Look at all those stars, or those, I mean those hearts. So we'll be using this one for sure. Look at all these pieces. There's so many different ones. And we can even pick from these after the fact, but there's a lot of really cute ones, just giving you an idea. And you get a lot in the package. And all these different sentiments, which we will be using some of them. So there's all of these. So I'm going to pop these into our container, and we will have a look at those and use those when we get to that point. So hopefully you enjoy scrapbooking the holidays. You could make this about anything, really. It doesn't have to be Christmas. You could use some of these little things and do any other holiday, really, like Kwanzaa, or I don't know the colors of Kwanzaa, to be honest with you. You could do a bunch of different other things, just something festive. It doesn't have to be Christmas. It could just be even something outdoors, because there's a lot of different foliage and houses and things like that. So it wouldn't have to be Christmas necessarily, but that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So the very first thing I'm going to do now that we've done this, we are going to pick which papers we are going to use to go on the top part of our layout. And we're also going to set some aside for video number 2 of our second layout. So what I am going to do, I am going to use this page for our second layout. And I am going to use this one for this one. This one we're going to cut apart. I have two of these actually, as you can see, so we can use one side and the other. So we are going to do that. We're going to cut apart one and use the other back side. This one, doody doody doo. We are going to use that for possibly the next one. And this one, not making an advent calendar, so I'm going to use this side. So we are going to use these 3 pages for this layout. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that there. I would like to have maybe the trees as the full backing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my page, see where we started with our ink, and I am going to make a little tick mark about here. It's just below our ink line, and I'm going to rip this. So I'm going to rip it, and I want the jagged side. So switching, when you're doing jagged side, you want to rip with this hand. So does that make sense? Let's see. If you rip towards yourself, I'm trying to remember how this goes. Yes, if you rip towards yourself with that hand, the jagged side is going to be on the back side. If you rip this way, it's the other way. And that's exactly how it's working. So this is how I wanted it to go. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to just rip this off a little bit because I got a little bit more white than I wanted. There we go, that's perfect. All right, so this will be the top of the background there, like so. This area here, we are going to have another little jagged piece, and we are going to have it for in this area here. So we're going to do the same kind of technique. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm actually even going to take this up a little bit further so I can put this underneath. And don't worry, we're not wasting any of this because I can use this on another layout. I waste very little of my items that I purchase, and what I don't use, I sell, so you never have to worry about that. Perfect. So that is the kind of look we're going to be going for there. But on the flip side of that, we're also going to be using our green, our countdown, the trees. So we have that as well. And we're going to be having that just a little below. There we go. And same thing, we will slot that under here. So I'll give you a rough idea of what this is going to look like before we tack it down. We'll have that like that. Put that there. And we'd have that there. See? So that's kind of the look we're going for. We are going to matte our pictures with the wood grain, cut out a few sentiments from here, and use some of our ephemera. So I'm going to go ahead, tack this down, and move on to the next step so you can see that. So now we have tacked on all of our items, our pieces of paper onto here. I did this matte, I haven't attached it yet because I still have to find the right placement. And I also slightly fussy cut out this title. So this will be going in here somewhere. So now we look at all of our ephemera that we had put into our dish before. And there's some really pretty pieces. What I'm using this for, and that's why I picked this title of Merry and Bright, I'm going to an event, as long as it still continues, outside with lit up trees and a lot of lights. So that's why I chose this one. And I thought this would be pretty to use some of these coordinating things with. So let's see what we can use here. I'm trying to mix around some of the colors, so I'm not using a lot of the same colors over and over again. And because we are doing a 2-page layout, I will use the other items in the other layout. Our other layout will be something indoors. So there's a lot of Christmas tree stuff in here, and like a few food things and that kind of thing. So I will use those for the other layout. Yeah, so many pieces in this pack. You will not be disappointed. So I am going to, yeah, I will use those. There's some perfect pieces for what I'm planning on doing. This has actually worked out really, really well. Yeah. Voila, I think we got all the pieces we need. And then we pulled out some of these. We have Joy to the World, Merry Christmas, Sweet Memories, and Happy Holidays. So I think I'm going to use possibly these two. So I'm going to, like I said before, I haven't done the event, so I'm not going to put my picture down. So anything we tack down that would cover this picture, I'm going to use foam squares, but not take off the backing, so you can still put your picture on and then tack it down after the fact. So that's what we're going to do with that. So I'm going to put on my adhesive. That didn't work so well. Put on my adhesive, and we will tack our mat down, our photo mat. And I decided to do vertical because I'm thinking if we're doing Christmas trees, those are tall. So I'm going to do that. And now it's all a matter of placement. So this will probably wind up going probably somewhere down in this area, in this region. Here, you could pretty much do whatever you wanted to. I don't want to totally cover up our paper area. So we could do this even behind here. You know, have a big tree, then the little trees kind of behind. And we're going to foam square these. Yeah, so we're just going to work with this now, and away we go. And there we go. There is our finished Merry and Bright layout. Hopefully you can see that okay. Yeah, this one page, it was very easy, very fast to do. I did this just in a few minutes. So it didn't take much. You just needed some of your inks. I mean, you could really use any inks that really matched this layout. I used the Bundled Sage, the Ice Spruce, and the Festive Berries Distress Oxide. But you could use any of the other ones. I really like this layout. I love this line. And if you'd like to see more, watch the second video doing a second one-page layout using the Cocoa Vanilla Merry and Bright layout design packages.